the surrounding tables. We'll go through those between games or during the break. But meanwhile, Mad Max breaking to start things off in his 2025. Ooh, that one ball just thought it was in.
Yeah,
Straight
that's
to the
what they'll be
side.
targeting throughout the tournament. That one on the side. He purposely cut the rack there to get the one tracking more towards the side. Almost made it. Reinhold's going to be on a push here.
Chris is a 27-year-old, 757 Fargo, versus Max, who is 34 and an 816 Fargo. So he's 60 points difference. But in these short races, that 60 points doesn't really come into play.
Yeah, it's not going to show up as much in the shortened sets. Gonna make Lechner a favorite just on experience, but Reinhold has a good amount of experience on his end as well. Two-time Mosconi Cup member. Looking to make more of a return to the competitive scene. Does a lot of teaching out of Louisiana. Friend of mine personally told me he's gonna take more of a equal run at teaching and competing in 2025. Lechner's left the long rail here. Chris will be looking at hitting the bottom half side of the ball, kicking the one towards the top right corner pocket. More safe in the way of mine here.
Try to track the cue ball down. Yes.
Just left it okay. Only offenses for Lechner in the top left. Position's going to be tough on the two into that. If he shoots the one into that pocket, he's going to back off here. He'd like to draw the cue ball over to the right side rail, but the five's in the way of that path.
Yeah, he can't stay under the side pocket, can he? And there's your.
It's okay. At first, I didn't think the two passed the eight, but that was the proper shot considering the two went.
Your referee standing directly behind Max is Gintaras Petrovas from Lithuania. Part of the EPBF referees.
Maybe it doesn't go. He's calling it cross corner.
Think it might be some kind of a two-way shot, playing the cue ball safe on the same time.
Yeah.
Yep. Distance in the center of the table.
So first half chance for Reinhold to take advantage here. Don't mind cutting the two to the left and trying to play the cue ball near the eight. Not bad, but I believe he's left the pocketing edge there for Lechner. Tough position. He's going to have to be on a slow roll here to hold position for the three, but it looks like he's thinking about offense.
He's got to get to that window between the 4-6.
Yeah. Tough part about this is you have to hit at slow speed.
Great job there by Max.
Yeah.
Nice speed.
Yeah, good position. You know, first round of the tournament, tough to know the exact speed of the table. Both players had a chance to warm up a little bit, but when it actually comes to executing at game time, when you're not quite used to the tables, is a positive shot there. Just looking for the angle where he can run the cue ball into the 6-9. I believe he just has it.
Will he address that? Will he address that 9-ball here?
I think he maybe thought he couldn't draw out of it enough. He definitely wanted to. The angle was just a little too much where he felt like he couldn't draw into it. He's looking at the bank on the 6. Bank will lie pretty good. He can not moving the cue ball very far at all here, so he can get whatever angle he feels is best.
6 ball, side pocket.
It's on a decent angle here. He might have to draw out of it. Just taking into account the speed. 6 ball shorten up a little bit.
Oh, he'd like to come back a little further than that.
Yeah.
A little too straight. Now he's using the bridge.
Took care of the big problem there, but not quite out of the woods yet.
This is hard to spin this ball with the bridge.
He might favor going up and down both short rails here. Because you're right, he would definitely want to avoid spinning it.
Yeah, that's a problem with that. And that's the other problem.
Break for REINHOLD here in rack number 1. I mean, there is a pretty big Fargo difference between the two players, but it, you know, REINHOLD maybe is a little low on the Fargo. He's a very experienced player. But still, you know, with him just getting back into competition in the last few months, starting out good is important for him.
And the other thing, at 27, he's still growing as a player. He's, we'll see that Fargo move north quite a bit in the upcoming time when he spends more time on the road playing.
Newly sponsored Predator player.
Chris started out from Ventura, California. I believe you said he was living in Louisiana now.
Yeah.
And teaching down there. Nice smooth stroke, nice backswing. It was all so smooth, nice pause at the end.
Yeah, he teaches the game. He understands the importance of timing and understands the importance of good fundamentals.
And game number 1 goes to Chris REINHOLD. Short race to 4. The referee will be racking. This tournament is played on the best equipment in the world. The Predator Apex table, the Predator Arcadia Cloth, the Predator Arco balls, Predator bridge, all of it, right from Predator. The Aerorack, go to PredatorCues.com and you get to see all their pro team for one, all the equipment they have for sale. For some of you that heard about it, the new Apex table. The Apex, I mean the new Arc table that was just used in Europe a month ago or whatever it was. We won't see it in the States till maybe the fall of this year, but it's quite something to look at. These Apex, of course, are very attractive.
Yeah, all Predator tables being used for the BCA National Championships, which is going on this week at the Rio Hotel as well. Thousands of players in town for that. Multiple singles divisions over different skill levels and team events.
In fact, one of the things you see in the right-hand side of your screen there on the upper part is you see a whole team watching these pros players.
Sure.
From the amateur side of it, from Q Sports International's Expo, the BCA World Championships, and the USA Pro League National Championships. Watching these pros. What a great venue to be able to watch your favorite pro player for free.
Big smash there from Chris. Going from the middle, going for the offense break, nothing down. Little loose on the rack. It separated okay. They kind of just bunched back together. I thought it was more the rack there, but he did get good initial separation. Chris has watched a lot of these matches. He's a commentator for Predator as well, so he's seen all the different breaking styles. And I remember when we were commentating together, he was always leaning towards, well, I'm just going to break from the middle if I ever play one of these tournaments. I want to try to play the offense. The center break's going to open up the balls more. It's going to lead to more run-out type games, and the break from the side is going to lead into more tactical games. Good save there from Lechner. Tough kick here for Chris. Jump's not available. Looks like multiple rails on the kick.
It's so important to get that cue ball close to your object ball when you're playing safe. Takes the jump cue out of play.
Yeah, and usually if you
Forces
kind of
us.
freeze to another ball, you're more likely to leave a multiple rail kick rather than a one rail kick, which is obviously tougher, and that's what happened to Chris there. Tough to judge that one.
They are playing a 3-foul rule. The early 10 balls are allowed and encouraged. They just don't count on the break.
It's just on a fairly open table here. We'll have to get a second look to kind of see if there's any problems throughout the rack. Yeah, everything's looking pretty good. Bit of cue ball movement, but nothing. Pretty big areas available for all the sequences. Most cue ball movement is going to be between the 7 and or the 6 and the 7. Pretty open in the middle of the table to move back down. Most obvious play from the 6 to the 7 would usually be 3 rails around, but the 8's blocking that track, so I might just see him stay up the left side of the table. Just thinking about which path he wants to take now. Lechner's a real underrated player. I mean, he made the final of the US Open. He's done well in a lot of matchroom tournaments. Hasn't been quite as successful in any Predator tournaments, but no reason why not. Real upper world-class player.
Well, at an 816 Fargo, he is what I consider one of the elite players in the world.
Sure.
Anything over 800 is world class.
The new cloth kind of killed the ball there. See, when the cloth is brand new like this and you're kind of going more direct into the rails play a little softer. The bed will generally play a little faster, and the rails will play a little softer, particularly when you're going in at kind of a 90-degree angle into the rail, and that's what caught him there.
And with inside English.
Yeah, and the top kind of catches a little more, so the top kind of over-rotated.
Oh, nicely done.
Yeah, good
Navigated that very well. Right past the 9 to the head rail. Left the 10 ball to lock him out.
Yeah, Chris is going to have a lot of options here to defend. Jump is one of them. Kick's tempting as well, because if he gets behind it, he could possibly stick the cue ball. Good jump. Possibly trying to play the cue ball behind the 8. Tough shot.
Cue ball, it's okay.
He's going to get safe with the 7. No bank available, really.
You like going on the right side of the 7 to get behind the 8 ball 3 rails?
I think so. I don't think there's
It
much.
just lays so well. Is what I see there.
Yeah.
You might choose something much simpler than that, but
Yeah,
it just lays
just
so
thin
well.
off the left side. I think he's considering that as well. Similar to what you said, just caught it a little thick.
Like cue balls against the rail.
Yeah,
That's
chance for
positive.
Reinhold here to take an early lead in the first set.
Nice shot.
That was the cue ball play.
Will it go around the 8? Well,
Not where he intended, but he's still on offense here.
second prize, side pocket.
Kind of surprised he powered over there. Just thought he had a little too much angle to hold it, but that's a nice confident shot from Reinhold.
And that's game number 2 and win number 2 from Chris Reinhold. Max is yet to be heard from on the scoreboard. Sponsors, our title sponsor is Kamui. Yalin, Samsung TV Plus, Box Billiards, Ben Billiards Corporation, Q Sports International, Little Monster, of course Predator Group. Some stats to take a look at. I like to look at the overall performances. You can see Max performing higher than Chris, but trailing in the score.
Yeah, I think the one stat that has a little bit of difference there is the safety returns. Maybe Lechner didn't have as many safety return opportunities, but to have 3 safety returns within 2 games kind of shows you that Reinhold is strong in that department.
And you can see where Max pocketed 12 balls to Chris's 8. So the missed shots, 0 for both players.
Yeah, Lechner had a chance to run out last game and just forced to play that kind of awkward shot on the 6. It's 0 for 3 for Reinhold on the break, so he might be considering switching it up next time he comes back. Hit that one off square a bit. But he's definitely going with the power theory, you know, just hit them hard and hopefully make one.
Do you sometimes adjust your speed to the table on the break? And hard doesn't have to be, it's more smooth.
Yeah,
Gets you a
particularly
better
with
action.
templates, right? Like, you know, if you have a consistent rack with a template and you know a certain speed is working, you don't necessarily have to overhit it. Maybe kind of a 60% speed will work just as well, and it's easier to execute.
Great point. Well, Max has challenged Chris here on this shot.
Yeah, I don't mind these type of pushes. You know, it kind of almost puts like a
One ball for their pocket.
different thinking to the guy that's taking the shot. It's like, go ahead, try to make that one. You know?
And in the background there, you could see Albin Ocean from Austria also, the good friend of Max's. They always support each other, and when one's playing, you'll see the other in the stands usually. And that's what we saw there.
Yeah, he took the bait there and didn't make it. Got lucky to leave Reinhold on a jump, but a very makeable jump. So big shot here for Reinhold in the first set to take a commanding lead.
One ball.
Be the favorite in the 3rd game here.
Yeah, this is like a little standard jump and stops the cue ball right there.
Got it. A little unlucky to be straight on the 2. Be tough to move the cue ball towards the 3. He has a little angle going to the left long rail, so he can get a little closer to it. Reasonable position for the 4. He just wouldn't want to be shooting from where the 2 is right now. It's a good shot. Got some angle. Won't have to overhit this.
Positioned favorably to work around this track.
Nice shot. He's pocketed a couple high-speed balls like that.
Confident, taking that full stroke.
Control there. Rest of the rack looking good. So great start here for Reinhold against a tough opponent.
Nice on the right side of the ball to go straight to the 7 wall. Come straight across or use the rail. They are on a 30-second time clock. They get 60 seconds after the break and 30 seconds thereafter with 1 extension per rack.
Gonna have all games on display here for you this week. Gonna be a 12-player bank pool showdown. 12 of the best bankers in the world. Playing in a round-robin format down to a single elimination. 2 one-pocket exhibitions.
Yeah, you got Shane Van Bonen and Joshua Filler, and then Tony Chohan and Francisco Bustamante.
Yeah, they'll both be great matches for sure. I'm interested to watch the Van Bonen Filler match.
Two
Both.
guys.
Go ahead.
Two guys that don't really claim to play one pocket.
Right.
But Shane has quite a reputation for doing that.
But
doing
whenever
well
they
at
do,
it.
they
play.
get near the end. Yeah.
Well, didn't he win Derby City last year? I think he was way up there.
He was,
And-
yeah. It was the year where he was like in the top 3 in
Sure.
every division, kind of. Yeah.
And his matches were just run out after run out. Usually it takes hours to play, and I think he completed 1 match in 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think the originator of like Power One Pocket was like Scott Frost, right?
Yes.
But he wasn't finishing matches in 15 minutes. I'm not saying he couldn't, but you know what I mean. And it's for that to happen, and it was against a good player too. It was
Yes,
against Evan Lunda.
yes.
It just shows you it's like how offensive he's.
So you have those 2 on offer. Let me see if I can get you the names for the 12 bank players. Okay, give you an example of the 12-man field. You got Alex Paglayan, Evan Lunda, Joshua Filler, Shane Van Bonen, Billy Thorpe, Francisco Bustamante, Justin Hall, Scatter Woodward, Chip Compton, John Mora, Roberto Gomez, and Tony Chohan.
I mean, you're literally talking
What a field.
12 of the top 15 bankers in the world.
And here we go with Chris Reinhold breaking the balls, leading 3 games to 0.
For Justin Hall to be possibly a dark horse in that field, very underrated player that doesn't play the major events that often, but a strong banker.
This was invitational.
So yeah, that's 0 for 4 for Chris on the break. Hasn't really left anything on any of the breaks for Lechner, but he's defended himself when he's got into the safe battles. Lechner looking to play the 1 near the 10, kind of stopping the cue ball with the 9. did well with the cue ball. 1's safe enough. Early 10s are a win in this men's Las Vegas Open. Probably not going to play in until maybe the 3 could be a possible combo. Point there. Still going to be relatively safe because of where the cue ball is. Yeah, tough to get the cue ball off table here.
Could play at the 10 ball, but he'd have to call 1. Call the 10 and not the 1.
Just because of the score line, he could consider getting aggressive. He could consider elevating and trying to get the cue ball off table. Kind of looks like he's preparing for something. No, he's going to stay level here. Yeah, just chose to stay at the table and play safe on the 2. Lots of blockers, but the cue ball's not really traveling into any of them real naturally.
You can see our referee, Hindaras, is rather focused on the going on at the table. It's called the 2 ball.
I see that shot played a lot. I'll say I never have the balls to play that shot. You know, whenever I can see the ball completely, I'm always.
You want to go off of it?
Yeah, my intuition is just I'm going to shoot straight at the ball. It definitely that shot definitely has value.
Very
But
much.
to me, it's like when you're kicking at it, it's hard to say you have more control than when you're hitting the ball first.
Well, the problem that I saw with that particular shot was you have balls in the middle of the table that'll stop it from getting down table.
Right.
And to that safety area that you need to have.
10 ball for their pocket.
The other thing about it, if that ball comes across, you'll let them a shot on the 10.
Yeah, and this is going to be Reinhold for the win in the first set here. Early 10. Oh, it just missed it. Caught it on the proper side, but just a little thin. So Lechner with his first offensive opportunity in a couple games. Hit it well, just fractionally thin.
And those are high percentage carom shots too, when they lay like that.
Pretty open table here for Lechner. Looks like he's kind of setting up in this certain stance called the sight right stance. If you watch his pre-shot routine, when he gets behind the ball, especially on shots that are a little tougher pocketing. I mean, you won't really be able to see it here because he's stretching over the 7-10, but we can take a look at these last 5 shots. It's kind of like you line up off the center of your body, and then you step like over into the line. It's an interesting pre-shot routine that's kind of catching on. See if he does it here. It's easy pocketing, so he might not be as stringent towards it. Just kind of got him. He knows he's going to make the ball. Pocket is too easy.
Doesn't want to really come off the long rail here.
Yeah, I like to eat in the corner. Just minimize the cue ball movement. Might be a little too much angle, or you can play for the side. Check. His last 5 shots have all been too easy, so we can't really see what I was talking about. But just take note when he's shooting a tougher shot. He'll get into a certain routine.
Oh, close to the side pocket, but nothing to fret about. And he will make his mark to this set. Trail 1-3 and a race to 4. Lechner to be breaking.
See, Reinhold's break success is at 0%. He's 0 for 3 on the break. Lechner didn't make a ball in his first break either. Only 1 missed ball over the course of the 4 games so far. Which exhibition is up first in the 1 pocket, George?
The Chohan and Bustamante will be tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll get you a time later. I don't have a time for it yet. And then Filler and Van Boney will be on the 21st. And I'll try to fill in those times.
Watch out for the 10 here. Karem's on. This could be the set for Reinhold. Only thing could be, you might not be able to hit it thin enough. Let's have to see another angle here.
1 ball for them.
Guess he had to draw too much to play the Karem. Looked like it was on, but it must have had to draw the cue ball too much.
Maybe he was, oh, that did lay nice. I'm surprised he overlooked it. Maybe he was just afraid of hanging it up. Maybe that would have won in the set. Oh, he's going to put him in nice and tight behind that 5 ball.
Yeah, down to the end of his shot clock there. Nicely executed. Took away the right long rail. Very tough kick here for Chris. We heard he just said an intentional foul, tying up the 5, recognizing that it was too low percentage to even hit the 1, never mind get safe. 4 is lying okay for the breakout. 3's in good position to get the proper angle on the 4. So look for Lechner to try to run all the way out in this opportunity. When you run into the 6, it might pocket the 5, but you might try to hit it at a speed where the 5 just kind of hangs over the corner. And on second look there, the 5 might not be going all the way into the pocket, which is actually a good thing for Lechner.
You might have to play that 3 ball to the corner pocket because you can't get back for the side.
Yeah, he got a little too more angle than he wanted there. See, this is where you'll see him kind of stand, aligning the ball off the center of his body first. Get a camera. See that? See how he's standing with his feet there? And just kind of steps over.
I actually do that quite a bit for hard shots.
So he'll be looking to push the 5 over the corner pocket here, but not make it. Did make it, but he's okay.
Nicely done. Just a soft stroke going by that 10 ball for the corner, and the cue ball's in line for the 7.
Yeah, Reinhold was just a small roll away from winning the set on that first carom. Kind of looked like he had a chance at the carom in this game, but he must not have, because he would have taken it. But back under pressure now. Lechner getting closer in the scoreline. There's so many good players out of Europe now. Imagine he's at an 8-13 Fargo and he's never been on the Mosconi Cup team for Europe. Imagine that. That's how strong they
Well,
are.
they have their pick of the litter there.
Yeah, textbook fundamentals, reminiscent of Albin Ocean, his countryman. Albin's here this week as well. Jasmine. A lot of world-class women making the trip to Las Vegas this week.
And we'll see them starting tomorrow. 64 of the top women in the world for the women's Las Vegas Open.
We also have the Women's Challenger Champions between Christina Tkach and Rublin Amit, the 2 world champions. Rublin in the 9-ball and Christina in the 10-ball. They'll be playing a set of 9-ball and a set of 10-ball. And if they split those 2 sets, they'll play a set of 8-ball to determine the winner. Predator's going to bring back the Women's World 8-ball Championships for the first time in a very long time. This July, it'll be in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It'll be 2nd to the 6th.
Good information to have.
Can't pick out a favor in that one because we've never seen the women really play 8-ball at all. I don't know. I think Europeans play a fair bit of 8-ball. Maybe look for Jasmine, or we'll see. It'll be a new tournament.
A lot of the Asians do too because of the hay ball.
True. That's a good point. It's a great point, actually. Never even thought of. You know, back in the day, there was no hay ball. Right? So yeah, look for players like Semin Chen and Han Yu will have experience at that game. Rita Cho.
Han Yu is here for
Yep.
this tournament.
Semin Chen's not. She has made it to Vegas before, but not this year.
What a pleasure just to watch her. Well, both of them.
Yeah.
Here's some stats. Looking at the percentages again, Max still outperforming Chris, but in the ball's pocketed, he's pocketed 31 to 19, so he's leaving Chris opportunities.
Not the best spread in the rack. Kind of more. Oh, there goes the 6. Last ball moving.
And cue ball was pushed up for the 1.
Yeah, it's gonna be on a combo with the 210. It's reasonably lined up to the pocket, but you'd want the cue ball in a pretty solid line. It's not wired. Looks like he's not considering it. Maybe just looking at the path the cue ball could travel towards the 2. Just making sure they have the shot clock in order here. Quite sure what he has in mind here.
Looks like he's going to follow 2 rails to the left side by the 5.
Nice shot. He's on
He did.
a pretty good angle to attack the combo. He'll definitely be going at it here.
10 balls, corner pocket.
That was a smart shot from Lechner there. A lot of cue ball movement. It looked like 2 rails forward at first, but the angle was a little too much. And this is to make it hill-hill in the first set.
From a 3-0 deficit, he stands to tie things up with this shot. One thing about combinations is you don't want to slow roll it, because if you hang the 10, it's going to stay in the pocket. You want it to leave the vicinity. So we have a little speed, not much, just a little to get the cue ball out of there.
Just
Overshot.
goes to show whenever a combo is off angle, it's just way tougher than you think. And, you know, even on the mental side, it's like you've missed them so many times, you're not sure if you're going to make them. You can do all the calculations that you want, but it's still kind of a feel aim when you're shooting an off-angle combo like that.
Well, to give you an idea of the degree of difficulty of the shot, he gave it all the respect it deserved and still missed it.
Yeah, by a decent amount. So Reinhold with an open table opportunity here to finish off the first set. Yeah, I was thinking side pocket here. I think he is as well.
He's going to come 3 rails around. He's got to make sure to be on the right side of the 10 ball. Perfect.
He's there, nice shot. 9 ball's kind of in the way of a lot of pass towards the 7. Should be able to figure something out.
No, he wanted to come a little further out, so he'd use that rail and then come to the right side of the table to where he's standing for the 7.
Yeah, still an opportunity to drop the left side here, out on the far side of the 9. Good shot. He's there now, just hold his nerve. Again, we're talking about Chris like he's just a little less experienced than world-class players that have been on tour consistently for the last 2 years, but also a player that's played in multiple Moscone Cups. He knows what pressure's about. Played some high-stakes challenge matches.
Oh my, what a shot he just missed. You don't see that but once in a blue moon.
Yeah, just kind of slipped his stroke forward there. Might have been a little conflicted on the position. Not sure, but again, you know, being out of the mix for a while, like mistakes like that can happen. full pocket there. Lucky it's day number one. That ball's not going to go in 4 days from now.
No, I don't think so. Not once it breaks in. That's still a little slidey. He just made up a word. This isn't straightforward.
Yeah, he's on the in-between angle here. He's going to go side, 3 rails around.
Oh, nice speed on this ball. Oh, could have gone a little harder. This is still a good shot.
Yeah, choice to draw out or just play natural angle. Go with a more aggressive stroke, draw out of it.
This 10 ball to tie things up in the first set, and tie it up he does. 3-3.
This is countryman teammate Albin Ocean. Conspicuously not in the doubles tournament with Jasmine. They've played together in the past, but they're not playing together this time. I'm surprised at that.
Bring you some updates from some of the other matches going on. Alex Kazakis has defeated Rick Funk 2-0. Sylvain Kingras is 3-2 in the first set over Donnie Mills. Tom Lemur is 3-1 over Dan Louie in the first set. Ralph Souquet 3-2 over Eddie Vonderow. Eddie is one of the junior players that will be playing in big juniors showdown that we have coming up. Bustamante has won the first set over Bobby Garza. Christopher Secklinger tied up with Randall Bagot, two apiece in the first set. And back to the action here.
Lechner, ball down. Ooh, the 5 gets in the way. The 7. One was sitting nicely over the corner of the pocket, but the 7 got in the way.
The last rolling ball, probably.
Yeah.
He usually gets you.
Always tougher to push as well when the 1's near the corner pocket. Could be considering pushing into a jump. Looking at that right now. Kind of sitting sideways on the table if he leaves the cue ball there. Here we go. Think Chris will take it, or do you think he'll pass it back? It's a 50-50 proposition here.
Well, Chris is rather handy with the jump stick, so I think you'll take it.
I think you kind of have to take it when someone, even though the overall percentage is close to 50-50, if you're a winner, you're the kind of, you'll be thinking at shooting this shot. You want to take the first opportunity at it.
Well, these are the kind of jump shots you cut your teeth on. He's not going to take it. He's walked off.
I mean, the other thing about it is that you're not in a normal jumping position. You're sitting on the table. It's tough.
Yeah, that would be easy for a left-hander, but not so much a right-hander. Let's see how his decision was.
Yeah.
Results speak for themselves.
Hindsight's 20/20, but I kind of like taking that one.
So did I.
So it'll be the toughest positional shot in the rack. I think he'll be looking to play out the left side of the table and playing the cue ball near the 8 for the 3 on the side. Tough shot here. Gonna come nicely between the 6 and the side pocket, not catching the point. Tough on the pocketing as well, so shot of the rack here for Lechner. See how he's standing like that, kind of above it?
And now he steps in.
Yeah. It's like a Federer Gorse thing a little bit too. Ooh, got a nice roll off the 6 if it doesn't go behind the 8, and he's there.
If he can close this out, he was trailing 3-0.
Yeah, two good chances for Reinhold to win the set. Narrowly missing the carom in game number 4, and an open mistake on the 8 in game number 5. Four barely passes the 8, but he definitely went in a play position here if it doesn't go.
Thought he might
Go ahead,
I
George.
thought he might bring it up by the side pocket and shoot it in the other side. But he just kept it real simple and stopped it there.
Yeah, it's kind of a new school style where they're moving the cue ball less. Their fundamentals are so strong that they're not afraid to take on those kind of mid-range pots, more like older school style, which honestly I lean towards a little more, is moving the cue ball more, shooting into the most obvious pocket. But I've noticed particularly with like Europeans, kind of just relying on the pocketing a little more.
Well, it paid dividends. He's in a great position to close out the set.
Favor the closer pocket on that one. Got angle going up table, and he'll be able to manage. And strong comeback here for Lechner in this first set. Not without a couple mistakes from Reinhold, but he'll definitely be happy to be going with the edge going into set number 2.
Close it out he does. Max Lechner takes set number 1 with a score of 4-3 after trailing 3-0 in the first set. Lechner broke the first set, which means Chris Reinhold will be breaking the second set as they alternate breaks on the set, and then just winner break from there on. But let's see if they take a little break. They usually do in between sets.
Yeah, players just going to take a quick break here. We'll take a quick break ourselves, and we'll be back soon.
And we are back with set number 2 with Chris Reinhold breaking this race to 4. He's got to win this set to take it to a shootout.
Yeah, he switched breaks. He was 0 for 4 from the middle in the first set. Switched over the side rail this time. 8-ball down, shot on the 1. Going to take a bit of a mental recovery here in the second set for Chris after a couple mistakes and chances to win the first set.
Let's see if he plays more aggressive this set than he did the last. Especially on shots like what you mentioned that he may have had an opportunity with.
Oh, interesting thing about the first set is there were 7 breaks and no break-in runs. So there's a lot of moving. Chris got the best of it in the first 3 games. That's kind of what we won in the first 3 games.
Now, is that the first time he's made a ball in the break?
I
think
believe
so.
Yeah. Yeah, he was 0 for 4 in the first set. Shot there by Reinhold. Enough room for a jump. Gonna go at the jump. 2-ball on the bottom left. Oh, 10.
Actually, this is a good call. He hits just barely off center, and that cue ball's going to track right at the 10 ball.
Yeah. Two-way part of it is that it should create distance as well. Oh, called the wrong ball.
Well, that's the one thing about 10 ball. In 9 ball, it's a perfect shot because you still shoot, but in 10 ball, you got to call one or the other.
And the purists will actually say that's a kind of a flaw in the rules. Like, you should be able to try 2 offensive shots at once.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that one particular part of the game should be like the 9 ball, but the purist also wants the 10 ball as the last ball.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, just to have it make it a call shot game. I guess you could say you could call 2 balls, but at that point, where do you cut it off? You can call all 9 balls in case you fluke something. So it's just kind of runs in between there.
No, the rules are there's 9 ball and there's 10 ball, and those are the reasons why.
Right. Just taking full advantage of this opening here in rack number 1. Install the pocket there. Just one good line.
You know what stands out of set number 1, first set, was that 8 ball that Chris missed.
Sure. I mean, that was
so
to
big.
win the set.
That was a win the set.
Reasonably simple position. I think he was kind of caught in between it, playing a fair bit of left or stunning it, and he ended up stunning it and maybe just didn't fully commit to it. And again, just to iterate again, it's not like the kind of nerves an amateur would have. I mean, he's very experienced and a solid pro player, but just not being there as much, you know, you're just not as used to it, and your mind can kind of do funny things.
And Chris takes the first game of set number 2. Starts how he started the first set, with 3 wins in a row. If he gets that kind of a start, he better complete it this time.
Yeah, and I believe he's, you know, as he comes back and more consistent pro level play, he's going to be right there with the rest. He's a great player. Look for him to be a threat to be on the Mosconi Cup this year. Safety efficiency is pretty low for Reinhold, but I don't believe he's shot too many of them. lot more balls pocketed for Lechner.
which accounts for the higher overall performance. Chris's is coming up. He's in the 600s in the first set, and this one rack is hoisted him up.
Yeah, it's been a pretty high level set. Only 3 missed balls between the two players.
Chris much more efficient with his time at the table.
See, just trying to calm himself there. Probably saw one of his friends in the stands, half smile, deep breath. Cut it a little thin, so the one went a little short of the side. No shot on the one for Lechner.
Turned out to be a good defensive break. I don't think he was looking to use the cue ball to the bottom of the table, though.
A very aggressive kick safe off the left long rail, but I don't think he'll be taking it. Push the one near the 8. Could be a little tough for REINHOLD to play safe in that area. Good shot. I think I said the one near the 8. I meant the cue ball near the 8. Pardon me.
One ball inside.
I think he'll go for the bank here. Hold it for the 2.
Shot, had to pinch that bank. Left spin. Fedor Gorst had a reel a couple weeks ago showing that exact shot. He said, you guys think you can make this shot? It's not as easy as it looks. Pro level players know that it just required a little bit of spin to pinch the angle, but it's funny that almost that exact shot came up right there.
Yeah, and the harder you hit it, the less it holds out.
Right?
Which is usually not true of a bank shot. Apparently I tried it numerous times.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that it's spinning so fast that the spin doesn't really catch the rail as much. Like even when you're playing position, that's an underrated thing. Sometimes you think you'll need to hit it harder for it to spin more. It's actually a little bit lighter. It's got to grab the cloth a little bit. Narrow miss there from REINHOLD. Offense for Lechner here. Pretty open table. Toughest position from the 3 to the 4 to the 5. Ball's playing all right here. He might have to play it with a. Yeah, he's thinking about drawing on top of the 10.
If he draws us just above the 10, he'll be able to come. He'll have plenty of room on the side there on the left side.
He might leave too much angle.
Yeah.
Hit it pretty much perfectly, getting as straight as he could. Good shot. Standing position play for the next 5 racks here. 5 balls, pardon me.
It's funny you said 5 racks there. Not to point out, but Chris has a real nice video on YouTube where he breaks and runs 5 racks of 10 ball with commentary as he commentates it.
Yeah, it's really noticeable, all the instructional aids you can get online now.
Sure.
The thing about it is you can watch all the instructional videos that you want. If you don't get to the table and practice execution, the game's that tough that you need hours and hours of repetition to do things consistently. You know, life's busy for a lot of people, not to discourage them, but you really need like tens of thousands of hours to be on a consistent execution level in this game.
That's why I call pool a very selfish sport.
Uh-huh.
It just takes so much time away from other things. But when you love it, it really, you can do it.
Sure, and you know, playing more is just going to let you execute more consistently. To understand the game is still a great thing.
And this 10 ball to tie things up in the second set. And tied they are. One apiece, second set, race to 4. Winner breaks. Keep in mind that if each player wins the first set, wins a set, they'll play the third set, and if they're tied at 3, it goes to a shootout.
Yeah, so that's a small amendment compared to the original format of the Predator Pro Series. Originally, when it was one set each, it would go directly to a shootout. But now it needs to be held in the third set. I think that's a great amendment. I mean,
Sure.
the shootout's a good thing, but you know, to be having to survive shootouts 2 or 3 times throughout the course of the tournament is a little bit daunting. But now they'll be less frequent.
And that was something that Predator did in response to players' suggestions and fan suggestions.
Sure.
They want to see more games. You know, keep in mind this is all played on Predator equipment, the Arcadia Cloth. You know, when I've compared the cloth to Simonis, I've noticed that when it's new, it seems to grab a little bit more, not as slidey as Simonis is.
100%.
Other than that, they play very, very, very much alike.
Yeah, and that's a positive thing, you know. Like
Sure.
It allows more shots when the ball's not sliding as much. Lechner finally making either player first time they've made the 1 on the side off the break and straight in on the 2 here. That's the break they're looking for. From the side rail, 1 on the side. Decent dispersion. The flip side of it is that if they do break on the side, the rack will tend to tie up more. So if you don't make one, you kind of have like a second chance at the rack possibly.
This is laid out pretty nice for Mad Max.
Real
What a
nice.
misleading nickname he has, Mad Max. This guy is the furthest from Mad that I've ever met.
Yeah.
One of the nicest guys on tour.
Yeah.
Polite, just, well, as are most of the Europeans, very polite. But good sense of humor, great sense of humor.
Just kind of went with the alliteration factor
Sure.
there rather than the actual description of the guy.
Mel Gibson
Right.
with his Max movies, but I forget what they are.
There's a new name now, but the original
Right.
was Mad Max.
Uh-huh.
The name is- Staying in line nicely here. Just talk about this pre-shot one more time here. Watch, he's on the contact point angle. Now he's in the center of his body to the pocketing angle, and then kind of steps over. It's kind of a new school way of approaching the ball.
Max is sponsored by How Cues now, and you got a good look at his cue right there. How Tips, How Cues. He has a case sponsor. 5-second cases, I think it is.
There's 3-second.
3-second cases. 3-second cases.
So this will be our first break-in run of the match. 10 games in now.
Looks like he's smoothing out a little bit. That's going to be trouble for Reinhold. Along with being down a game in the set.
Yeah, these break-in runs are really powerful in these short race formats. I mean, you know, you make, I can't remember how Max got the offensive advantage in set number 2, but he did take advantage the first game and then turned it into 2 games. And now it's like you're halfway there to the total, right? And breaking.
Well, I think he was able to pick up the advantage in his first set from number 1.
Sure.
Chris's try breaks. Number 2, the passed up opportunities that Chris had at winning the set.
Yeah, and it can still come back here, but if you're going to look at an early overall telling sign of kind of why Lechner's ahead, you know, Reinhold definitely had a couple chances to win the first set.
But you can see how Max has pocketed almost twice as many balls.
Right. $128 players starting this Las Vegas Men's Open. We're going to play down with single elimination final 32. 6-day tournament. 7 other tournaments on offer this week for you in Las Vegas. Looking forward to a great week here.
37.5 for the winner. Runner-up gets 17.5. Semi-finalists both get 87.50. 5th through 8th, 43.75. 9th through 16th, 21.88. And 17th through 32nd, 1,000, almost 1,100, 10.94 is what it is.
Missed the 1 that time, but 3 slipped into the top left corner. He's on the 1 on the first shot. Looked a little straight at first glance. See how it ends up here. He's got some angle to move towards the 2. Tough because he's on the rail. Could consider going 2 rails around the 5. Tricky shot because that'll involve some left spin.
He's using that left spin. Above the 5.
Good shot. Nice. Always tough to spin the cue ball when you're off the rail like that. Natural position, 2 rails across now. And this is for 2 break-in runs in a row for Lechner. And to go on the hill in the second set.
Looking good for another break and run.
Yeah, really only 7 to the 8. Might need a kind of a small angle on the 8, but there's lots of room over on that side of the table. But you see the difference with these professional players too is, yeah, it looks easy. And what percentage of the time could you execute this 3-ball run easily to get on the 7? But he's still making sure where he needs to be on the 5. You know, he's not taking anything for granted. You know, you have to realize one mistake in a match like this can turn everything around, right? He's just, you know, dotting all his I's and crossing all his T's, making sure that he's in the best possible angle to run out 99% of the time here instead of 95. That's how much care they're taking.
If it holds, it held perfect. Now you can just use the rail, come up for the 7.
Yeah, like the half ball angle here on the 7. Good thing to note as you kind of watch the play over the course of the week this week at home, you know, how often these pros are playing more into half ball angles more than full ball angles. It just allows you to hit the ball a little lighter. He got a little far away from it here. The natural angle was kind of trending into being a little straighter, so this is not a perfect example, but overall, they'll be going for angles where they can move the cue ball with medium speed rather than higher speed. Like even there, he doesn't have to hit that ball as hard as if he would have been straight in.
Now see, a lot of players there would have gone for the 9-8 combo, 8-9 combo.
Yeah.
I like what he did there.
Yeah. Avoid combos
Sure.
whenever you can, but it actually looks like how the, yeah, he's okay.
He overran it just a little, but still, it's good position. Very good position play.
So second break and run in a row for Lechner here. Threat to possibly run the set out. Really taking advantage of his opportunities now. Oh, look at that little exhibition shot there. I just felt confident enough to get closer to
Love
it.
those shots.
He's hitting an extreme amount of top there, changing the angle of the cue ball. I'm surprised he did that. Why don't you just take
Because
the
he's
longer
settling
shot?
in. He's gotten comfortable.
I haven't seen that shot in competition too often. But that's exactly it. He's confident. Just felt
Exactly.
like letting his stroke out there. You can get a replay on that one. You can actually see what the cue ball did there. It came off the rail, and it had so much follow on it, it stayed on the same side of the table.
And you're right, you don't see those in competition very often. You'll see them. You'll see them in money games or.
Just kind of an exhibition,
Exactly.
like look at me shoot this shot type of thing. Yeah. Well, it's been sat for 2 games. Here it is. Look at that. Bent the cue ball off the rail. It's like a swagger shot, George.
Is that what you call it? Swagger shot.
There goes the 1. That was perfectly hit.
Oh,
That's the speed I like there.
2-ball not so convenient. It's cuttable.
Yeah, could it play off the 5 possibly? We'll
It's too close
see.
to the rail. Will it double kiss or will it slide off?
Yeah, it's tough to tell. He's going to consider it though. It's easier than cutting it in if it does play well.
He's giving it. He's got 60 seconds, so he's giving it some time.
He'll be able to control the cue ball
Yeah.
better if he's able to play it off the 5.
The other thing about it is that's his key shot. He makes this and everything looks good for him to close out the set. Oh,
Think
is that a
he-
good hit?
Yeah, it was. I think he tried it off the 5, and I think the 5 double kissed it on the way to the pocket.
Let's see it again.
Yeah, caught the double kiss on the way in. He did try it off the 5, though, definitely. Oh, open table miss for Reinhold down to the end of the shot clock. Hadn't shot in about 20 minutes. It's tough when you come in cold like that, especially you got distance on the opening shot. I mean, it's the kind of balls that got to go down if you want to beat a player like Lechner, no doubt, but I know the feeling.
Blue ball, set.
Ball's gonna have a lot of movement here, kind of a blind pocketing angle. Shots are tougher than they look. Be confident here. Not bad. Not great with the cue ball. First intuition is defense here. We'll see.
I
He's calling it in. Again, he's feeling it. I mean, to be
gonna
trying
cut it.
shots like this.
I would bank that ball.
Yeah.
But then looks like he's called it in the corner.
Yeah, he's cutting it right in. I mean, there's safe options as well, but he's confident here.
Well, he is settled, so
at
and
that shot.
cut it in he does. Nice speed, nice cue ball. Comes up, perfect angle to come up with a 5. Excellent shot.
Caught some a little too much deflection than what he expected there. Decided to play with a bunch of left spin cloth, so the ball deflected a little more than he expected. He's kind of puzzled, feeling so. Sometimes you can almost feel overconfident, you know, like there was an option just to go up one rail there. It's like, I can't believe he missed it. There was an option just to go up one rail, but was confident enough to put a lot of spin on it. Just ended up misjudging the deflection. Didn't call the 5, or the 4.
Oh.
Not an obvious enough pocket there.
Would you give this back? I wouldn't.
No, yeah, you got
You
safe
got
options behind the 7-8.
And the shot in the 10.
Sure, good call. Yeah, 2-way on the 10.
10 ball, corner pocket.
If he goes for the 10, I don't think it's too. So you can't get the cue ball over behind the 3 balls.
Yeah, it's a
on the
little
left.
straight.
It's a little straight. He's got to go for it. Oh, he
Favored
wasn't-
the
he
safe
was
part
never
of it
playing the
more.
10. He was playing the safe all the time.
And this is the 3rd time that he's got Reinhold within a ball of the ball he's playing safe behind. Looks like he might have left the right long rail here. He did, just barely, but he's definitely put him in some tough safety spots.
He ice it.
Even to the point where Reinhold had to swerve at it, it's tougher to play any kind of kick safe at that point. He did pretty well there. For Lechner to play the cue ball back in the same area now. Might have to draw it, so consider other options. Maybe cue ball behind the 10. It's okay on the following angle. Good shot. He doesn't go too hard in the pocket. It's okay.
It's whoa. He had that hold 'em up English right at the pocket.
Yeah. Looks like the point is not in the way of the jump. I think it is in the way of the short rail kick.
Live ball, corner pocket.
He's called it in the corner pocket at the bottom of your screen on the right side. If this kisses off the 10, it could be trouble, but he's okay. 6 ball doesn't go by the 8. Will go to the side.
It will, but he has a, oh yeah, I was going to say he's got too much angle on the side, but he'll just play corner here. So chance to win the match here for Lechner. Real strong performance in the second set. 2 breaking runs in the middle of the set. Reinhold really only making that one mistake on the 2 ball. That was about it. Chris likely off to the loser side early. It'll take about 4 or 5 wins to get back to the final 32 from this position. But look for him to put up a good fight. One of the stronger players in the field. Tough draw for both players here in the first round.
Chris needs a miracle. Max needs to close it out. He's 3 balls from it. Well, when once Max settled in, like on the last game actually, of the first set, you could tell there was a little more pep in the step, a little more confidence. It really put a dagger in Chris's heart. Chris started out strong, but Max closed it out.
Yeah, Max won 9 of the last 10 games. Good performance from him. And, good
We'll be
opening
back.
set to the tournament. Looking forward to a
Exactly.
good week here, George.
Be back with 7 other tournaments this week here in Las Vegas. This is George Teja and Eric Corlifson closing it out for you. Be right back with another match.
Yeah, talk to you guys soon. Next round at 1 p.m. Pacific time.